Hello everybody, here is DNN Games and welcome to a new series. Recently we played Rias and I've talked about Abbey games. Now we'll continue with one game that I played a lot actually when they initially launched. I spent some time trying to understand because as you can see there are some DLCs that are available as I bought them, but there are a few, let's say, free DLCs, one even with some kind of meaning to me, that are not available. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to research and find out what I need to do to unlock them, but hopefully even after some years, because from what I have seen these events happened like 10 years ago, hopefully I will still be able to obtain them somehow. So from the start I have to say that this is a game that I played a lot. First on a friend's computer, then when I bought it I played a lot on my computer, but it has so much replayability that you will not get to see all of it, even if you spend countless hours. But that's actually a good thing. I actually like this game a lot. Also, most of my friends that played it also liked it a lot. So without further ado, we'll start a new game, and I will not go into the Emperor's Challenge because I never did. I bought that but never did. So we have Discovery Mode. You will be able to retire whenever you lose and save and load whenever you want. You will reach a new location faster. Choose this option if you like to discover with greater speed. Or Adventure Mode. You can't reload previous situations. If you lose, the game is over. The game automatically saves when you quit. Recommended with classic difficulty for perilous roguelike experience. You will need to master the mechanics. So we'll go with Discovery Mode as you haven't really seen this game, and we'll go with this. Now, Easy Mode, opponents are weak and you gain more resources. Great if you just want to explore the game without much trouble. Enable skipping battles, disable achievement. Normal, challenging, but more forgiving if you make a mistake. Perfect for learning the game or making stories. You gain slightly more resources than in hard mode. Hard mode definitely not for us. Original difficulty hard required some mastery to beat, and you need to prepare to face bosses or risk losing. You will need a few tries to succeed, and impossible. That says very hard. Opponents are tough and do more damage. You'll need a great amount of skill and maybe some luck to complete this adventure. So we'll definitely not go with these, and we'll go with Easy Mode just to show the game. So Easy Mode is select your crew. Crew selection tutorial. On this screen you can pick a crew. First select a captain, which will give you a unique ability to unlock more captains by You can unlock more captains by playing the game. Then select other slots and pick your other crew members. Different crew members have different strengths, so choose wisely. So as you can see, I didn't even unlock everyone because when I started playing they were not available. So these will be able to be taken as crew members but not as captains. Captains offer us a powerful ability, and you will see details about them here. We'll check that. So, for now we can take one of the three scientists. We have Anna, we have Agatha, and we have Philip. Then we can take Harry, Kiwi, or Hafiz. And for scouts, for fighters we can take Victor, Dolores, or Bia. And for speakers we can take Ivan, Kubame or something, and Charles. So for obvious reasons for some of you, we'll take Anna. So Anna is a bright young scientist who loves the scary power of electricity more than anything. She wants to uncover the secrets of the world. So, current age 25, nationality Russian. Okay, and Anna is a balanced scientist who, with very high speech defense and no real weakness. She is capable of doing great damage in an area. She does best in an aggressive or devious team. Anna goes well with most crew members and can develop either offensive or defensive. Recommended crew go aggressive or devious with Dolores and Hatis. So we already decided on Hafiz. No. With, you see here we can pick the other with Hatis and Dolores. But we also have naturalists too, something that will improve. Also, this will be an aggressive team as we can see. And as a captain we get completing a research paper will gain study tokens, a random improvement. Okay. Oh, here we can see like her attacks. Aggressive attack, high chance. Then we have terrify. Then we have try to excite. Then we have revive crew member. And she knows electromagnetics and mathematics. Her speed, her stats are here, her starting gear. Everything will be explained in due time. Oh, we even have a story here unlocked by Dolores. But I think we need to go and see Hafiz. Hafiz, an already respected treasure hunter from Antalya, very confident on her skill, obsessed with gold. Current age 20, nationality Turkish. Hafiz is a glass cannon scout with amazing attack and speech, but lacking defenses. Hafiz can hit all opponents in a line with her bow and arrows. She does great in aggressive and devious crews as long as there's someone to protect her. Recommended in crew to go aggressive or devious with Dolores and Anna. So she has quick thinker, which says that she's alert and she's cunning. These are the skills that we'll be able to develop as they will evolve, let's say. And then we have Dolores. Dolores won many tournaments, but kept her identity hidden behind a mask. Now she travels the world in search of new things to punch. Current age 28, nationality Mexican. Dolores is a defensive fighter with great armor and decent offenses. With either hitting or scouting, Dolores can keep opponents busy and take their hits. Dolores does well in most aggressive and devious crews. A recommended crew, aggressive or devious, with Anna and Hatis. And she is a quick thinker as Hatis and also an athlete. So without further ado, I guess it's time to start our adventure. This is just for your renowned explorer member. Anna wants to make a big entrance and go for an elusive treasure, the Viking ship. Rumors are that a boat belonging to the famous explorer Elif Eriksson is somewhere on this forgotten island. Go through the tutorial again. Welcome to Renowned Explorers. Your goal is to achieve the most renowned possible and beat your rival in a race for the title of Renowned Explorer. Renowned Explorers use unique concepts to succeed in your goal. There are lots of strategies and systems you will have to uncover. While playing, remember one thing: Renowned Explorer is all about discovering treasure and stories, but also strategies and systems. The game has many new concepts and is quite challenging. Learn about the concepts here or learn them the hard way as you play. Oh, apparently we didn't do a tutorial? So expedition goals. Your goal is to gather renown as much renown as possible to become this year's most renowned explorer. You especially want to beat the current number 1, Matthew Raven something. You gain renown by finding treasure and by collecting gold, status and research. Collect renown to win. During expedition you can collect resources. Gold you can spend on equipment. Status, which attracts an entourage. Research can be spent on research and insight, which you can use to gain more of the other resources. You might not find a need for those research immediately, but once you start preparing for the following expedition, they'll be vital. They also yield some renown. Look for gold, status and research. Got it. You won't get resources directly through. During the expedition you will perform actions that will give you tokens at the end of the expedition. Tokens will be exchanged for resources mentioned before. For example, a study will give you research. Later you can upgrade tokens for better yield. Gain resources through tokens. The expedition ends once you accomplish your expedition goal. You can surely find some secrets and other treasures if you try to explore as much as possible. Continue to surviving. The hardest part of Renowned Explorer is surviving the perils during the expedition. You need to keep an eye on 2 particular things. Resolve: you will lose the game if you ever reach 0 or supplies. which are used to travel from node to node. Never run out of resolve. If that happens, your crew will give up on exploring and lose the game. You will lose renown from failing some challenges or for having a crew member fall during an encounter. You can gain resolve from completing an expedition, but otherwise it's really hard to get resolve. Never run out of resolve. You need supplies to explore. Traveling on expedition consumes supplies. If you run out of them, your crew will weaken. Still, sometimes it might be worth the risk to get a little further without supplies. That's up to you. You will often get a chance to regain supplies, so keep your eyes open. Don't run out of supplies, no case. The brief summary for a successful expedition: find treasure and complete expedition. Get as much renown as possible. Collect gold, status, and research to spend later. Don't run out of resolve and supplies. With that knowledge, embark on an expedition. Continue encounters. An encounter in the Renowned Explorer is very different from what you might be used to see from a tactical game. You will be able to solve encounters not only through aggressive violence, but also through devious bullying and friendly diplomatics. All of them in this encounter tutorial. Encounter basics. In this tutorial you will learn about basic control and how to win encounters. Discover the most basic command and does not yet discuss the unique system of the game. Follow the tutorial encounter. Welcome to your first encounter. Select different participants by clicking on them with your left mouse. Select your crew member by clicking them with the left mouse. Got it. Now, move a crew member towards your opponent. You can activate a crew member by pressing the... Okay. Mood, we need devious to take care of that. Devious attacks. While holding the right mouse to choose where to move, you can click the left mouse to cancel. Now move the rest of the crew members. For now, you have exhausted all your possible moves and your turn uses the arrow. Now you have exhausted... Okay. And turn. Also, we can see that this one has +5 spirit. And this character can move easily through difficult terrain. Okay. As they are aggressive, they will try to hit us and take HP. and also some. Okay. Also some sparing. Okay, so now move your crew closer to the volunteers. Once you move the crew member close enough to your opponent, you can use their abilities to defeat your opponent next. Whenever you prepare an ability, whenever you prepare to use an ability, you can preview its effect. Here is an overview of the information. Percentage chance of the ability will hit or miss 100%. A preview of the amount of spirit damage the ability will do. That's here. A preview of how the ability will change the target's emotion. Different emotions have different effects. A preview of how the ability will affect the target's vibe. The positively or negative of the target's vibe determine if they will get positive or negative emotions. So that's the fact that I like the most, is that we have like spirit or HP or whatever, but also emotions, which is great. Move your crew member close enough to the volunteer so that you can use the ability. So we see that the mood is aggressive, and anticipation the attitude of the opponent is an effective way to gain an advantage. If your opponent is friendly, you can exploit this weakness by being aggressive. If your opponent is devious, you can be better. You can be the better man by being friendly. If your opponent is aggressive, you can make him crazy by being devious. So let's see devious attack. Why am I not allowed to use? Okay, apparently you can preview the effect of your move here, but I don't want to attack them. Apparently I'm forced to. I cannot even change target. You just dealt damage to your opponent's spirit enough through a physical attack. But don't worry, during regular play you can also overcome unfortunate disappointment through the means of other than just violence. But for now, defeat the enemies by assaulting their spirit next. Defeat all opponents to complete this encounter. You dominated your opponent. Now, attitude. If you know how to use an ability to win an encounter, the next step is to look at your attitude. As mentioned before, there is more than just one way to win an encounter. Here you will learn about attitudes: friendly, devious, and aggressive. Follow the tutorial instructions. In Renowned Explorers, you won't only enter encounters to do battle. This is also where diplomacy and bluffing takes place. Your crew can resolve this encounter with 3 different attitudes: friendly, devious, or aggressive. Resolving an encounter with an attitude affects the course of the game and your reward. The outcome UI in the top left shows you the consequences for having a dominant attitude with this encounter. Let's look at it. So friendly will be amazing, devious will be okay. You will be the dummy. Investigate the outcome UI in the top left of the screen and see the different consequences of solving the encounter with a friendly, devious, or aggressive attitude. As you've seen, you have to avoid finishing this encounter with an aggressive attitude. Bad consequences are marked by a red skull, while positive consequences are marked with a green cross. You want to be either friendly or devious. Now, how do we act upon these attitudes? To solve encounters with a certain attitude, your crew members have different abilities. In the ability tooltip, you can see what attitudes they have. You will notice that the first ability is always aggressive, the second is always devious, and the third is friendly. Take a look at the tooltip of your abilities to see their attitudes. Hover over your crew member's ability in the ability bar at the bottom of the screen and read the tooltip and see the attitudes they have. This character neutral. This character is currently not affected by an emotional state. Now we have attack, we have terrify, and we have try to excite. Using an ability on an opponent, influence which attitude you will end with so, which attitude you will end with. Attacking makes you aggressive, terrifying them makes you devious, etc. Try to use an ability to make and take note on how it will change the UI on the top left. Damage the opponent's spirit with an ability to take note of how it affects the outcome. So they said they want friendly, so friendly it is. If you look up at the outcome UI, you can see the bar corresponding with the attitude flipped. Every ability you do influences the outcome. For example, aggressive abilities count heavier than others, and defeating an important boss with a certain attitude counts even heavier. The rest is for you to find out. Now you know how to get a certain attitude. However, that's not all there is. in choosing the right ability. When what you can do effectively depends on your crew. Aggressive abilities get stronger with high attacks. Friendly and devious abilities get stronger with high speech. Aside from your crew, your opponent also has strengths and weaknesses. For example, wolves won't really care if you're nice to them. On the other hand, some people are more easily hurt with words. Take note, the opponent's armor, speech, defense, it will reveal what their weaknesses are. You can inspect an opponent by left clicking on that opponent. So speech defense, absolutely nothing. If you looked at your opponent's armor volunteer, you might have seen he has high armor and the aggressive abilities won't do well. This situation can change your common tactics or make certain attitudes harder to achieve. To summarize, attitudes ending with a different attitude have different consequences and rewards. Your crew can be good or bad at certain attitudes. Your opponents have different strengths and weaknesses. You will need to balance out strengths and rewards. Finish this encounter in your preferred attitude, but remember the consequences. Resolve the encounter in an attitude of your choice. Think about the consequences, your strength, and the opponent's weaknesses. You will also see that we can work on our allies. Cover, gain additional armor in difficult terrain, and with boosted Anna's attitude with confidence, this character is pumped up. With physical challenges, increase attack power. And now Hatis. Can take care of this one. Confident. Now it's their turn. You see, they can also encourage us. And now let's go with Anna. Okay, and now Dolores. Done. Friendly victory. Campfire stories. After exploring a few places, the meter on the bottom right will fill and you may start a campfire. This allows your crew to tell each other campfire stories that give powerful upgrades and sometimes start relations. So this is actually new. This is actually that didn't happen before. So I think that we can stop for right now because we already talked a bit about everything, and next time I think we'll continue exploring and see what we can do here. But this will be all for today. I have been DNA Games. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to comment and I'll see you on the next one. But until then, have some great days. Bye.